Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's gonna be a 90-minute show today. We're gonna do probably a very long show tomorrow. It's gonna start early. I'm gonna start at probably about 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Atlantic. Because it's Charity Tuesday tomorrow, and it's GME earnings, and we're gonna find out if I crack Martinelli's or not. So this is a trick shot that I'm playing. So far, trick number one. Executed. I was hoping that the stock would rise $1 to $3 today, and it did $2, and I'm good. I sold my call options. Now I'm waiting. It may go up tomorrow. I may regret selling my call options, but I'm up 76% or whatever it is. And tomorrow, before close, I'm going to buy as many puts as I can with about a quarter of what I gained, and then I'm going to use the rest of it to buy $5 out of the money calls. Basically, if the earnings report's a nothing burger and the shorts just hammer it down, I get my money back. That's what I get. If GameStop crushes earnings and announces a share buyback or a dividend or something, and the stock flies after hours so that it opens the next morning maybe up $10 or more, then I'm good to go. The problem I have is that IV, implied volatility, is through the roof, so I don't know if I'll be able to get the 1,000 call options that I want to get. So maybe, I'll get as many as I possibly can, but it's only so much one Houston can do. So, I don't know if it'll be retirement money, but it might be a nice chunk of change and to, get a new truck and adventure and eat all the A5 waygu I want, right? Does that work for you? Works for me. And, yeah. So, Monkey, anything to add? No? What's happening in the news? Puff Daddy got raided by the feds. So, shit's about to get real there. I wonder what Jennifer Lopez knows. Because was she married to Puff Daddy for a while? P. Diddy? Sean Combs? Anything else? Trump's bond got reduced. The judge felt sorry for him and reduced the bond to $175 million in order for him to file his appeal. And was there other news in there? I don't know. We'll find out. So, woo! How about, wait, we'll just do classic. Oh, great. Now the cat wants to come in. I just did the Well. What's really talking? There he is. Cattail karaoke. All right, turn off all the intros. I hope they're all off. We'll find out. Okay, you are clawing me up. Nope. Now you're in the way of everything. Okay, so I stole the first thunder today because I accidentally, my mouse double-clicked and started the show before I could hit the schedule for 3 p.m. Pacific time. So I stole the first thunder. All right. Michael Steak Houston, I heard the CAT system will be used starting May 31st. It is said the SEC can be sued if they still don't stop the shorts. What do you think? I mean, how's the SEC going to get sued? Because as the Florida judge has proven, they've got immunity, baby. I do wonder what the outcome. Like the CAT system is supposed to launch in September of 2021, and it's been, they've done little tests and things here, and then it's been delayed. So I guess we'll see if it actually launches on the 31st. I know a whole bunch of market makers are pissed, and if they're pissed, then I'm happy because market makers are the worst. So see where it goes. Oh, AVIDs, AI vids. What we thinking on MMTLP S1 Congress meetings? No S1 yet. Well, no new S1 yet. They have to refile everything because they have to be able to provide the financials for the spinoff of the company that they're looking to do. I have a feeling that they probably have someone on the back burner doing this stuff, but right now they're mostly focused on getting the SEC and FINRA down, sitting at a table to resolve this thing. Because I think they have an ample amount of evidence that both the SEC and FINRA screwed up and possibly broke laws in order to help their little buddies at the hedge funds and the market makers. So, goodness, the pollen is killing me today. Oh, can't breathe. I'm a mouth breather today. I've got so much Claritin in me, and it's just not hitting the spot yet. So, yeah, MMTLP is like everything else, man. Just that's what we do. So have at it. We're so good at this. Just it's the best. Look how good I am at that. In case you haven't, damn it, Houston, you can't first your own show. Watch me. It's insider firsting. Jeffrey Reed, BBYQ getting tax form for IEP. Yes, that's the other weird thing that happened this weekend, is that several people who had DRS their Bed Bath & Beyond shares all of a sudden received tax forms for IEP. One of them drove to Carl Icahn's headquarters in Florida and was like, hey, what's the deal with this? And the secretary left for a little bit, came back. She said, you'll be getting another form. They'll explain this later in a few weeks. So what? Why are people who bought BBYQ suddenly getting a 1-for-1 with IEP? I mean, bitching, if that's what's happening. I'll take it. But ¿por qué? Why? ¿Por qué? Corporate Walnut, did you see Rama's tweets? Yes, that's who went to the IEP headquarters. Kyle Garibaldi, Boeing CEO, walks off with $65 million. What needs to change? Where is the accountability? I have parking tickets I have to pay on time. This is a joke. Yeah. So the Boeing CEO, I mean, he should have stepped down. Why he's getting $65 million and not being packed into a cannon and fired into a wall, I don't know. We will see if Boeing is serious. If Boeing puts another McDonnell Douglas dude in charge after this, then Boeing's not serious and they should get seized by the federal government. Boeing is the largest exporter in America. You know, 3/4 of all airplanes are Boeing's. They're one of the largest government contractors in existence. If they don't put an engineer back in charge of Boeing, then Boeing is toast. Absolutely done. And the United States government cannot afford to lose the national security strength of having the largest airplane manufacturer in the world. So if they don't put an engineer back in charge of Boeing, then the US government should just take the company and do what they did with GM and Chrysler. Just be like, look, we're going to turn this around and make it right, and then we'll set you free again. But yeah, if they put another McDonnell Douglas dude in charge, it's over. They're toast. They obviously aren't interested in learning their lesson and won't learn their lesson. So you're going to have to like remove them forever. Happy birthday, Firstings SOP. G-Font. Call's looking good. Might buy a new couch for Mrs. G-Font. All right. Danny Motes, Houston, happy birthday. Do you think you have a better lotto at GME earnings position play or with BBY Knowles play? I think I'll make more with BBY Knowles if that comes through than I will with GME earnings. GME earnings will be a nice paycheck. And you know, there's more plays I can make. Like, let's say they crush earnings, but they don't announce a dividend or a stock buyback, right? So then we might sell my call options Wednesday morning, probably about 10 minutes in. That's usually when IV's through the roof. Things rocketing a lot. About 10 minutes, like 10 minutes in this morning, the options were up insane. So about 10 minutes in Wednesday morning, sell my options for a profit, and then buy puts. buy a whole bunch of puts and just still weekly, still to expire on Thursday, and just wait a little bit, because normally the shorts try to suppress after the first big like burst in the morning, then they try to push it down throughout the day, and make maybe another 3x off of that. Sell those suckers and then wait to see what happens Thursday afternoon. And if Thursday afternoon the stock is still up, appreciable amount when it closes or around close, I will buy a whole bunch of weeklies for next week, because there'll be a whole bunch of gamma squeeze happening on Monday, Tuesday. So, stock could fly another $5-10 Monday, Tuesday. And if that's the case, then I could 2-3x my money again. So, yeah, the play's still coming. They're still coming. It still won't be as much as I think what BBY could do if Credit Big gets announced, used as a sort of SPAC to reverse merger another company, and shorts are forced to close a boatload of shares. I think that is thousands, tens of thousands of share type squeeze territory. This particular play, unless GME announces something really amazing that forces a full-on squeeze, I think it's going to be a good earnings. Give us a nice little $10 push if everything goes right, and we're good to go. So, I'll build more ammo while I can. Corporate Walnut, Real Diamonds versus Lab Made. Lab Made are perfect and super beautiful and are not romantic. Real diamonds, because they come from the earth, they're made by the precious earth, and then a human being took them out of the earth. They, for some reason, have more, and they got impurities in them. So impurities, help you identify which stone is which. There's a little more romance, I think, with real diamonds. But they're still diamonds. Diamonds are diamonds are diamonds are diamonds. The difference is one fluoresces under X-ray and one doesn't. And we don't know why lab diamonds don't fluoresce under X-ray. And if someone invents lab diamonds that fluoresce under X-ray, they will not tell a soul. And they'll be selling them as real diamonds because they'll get more money for them. So, there you go. Fabrizio Plop. Zuma got to do nub. Options trap incoming. Very possible, which is why I'm going to hedge. Cheshire, Houston. I heard the story of how Monkey Butt got her name. How did Chupa Batman get his? Big hugs, Houston, and treats for Monkey Butt later in the show. Yes. Monkey Butt. Chupa Batman. My cat, B.A. Baracus, who was named after Mr. T's character from the A-Team, he passed away in April 2019. And, just I'm not that person immediately goes out and get an animal, almost replace this animal. But by about that summer, June, July, there were a bunch of little creatures that were crawling around the walls because we live in the forest, and all these field mice and stuff decided to move in, and I could hear them in the walls. We'd see them in the kitchen. I was like, all right, we need to get a cat, because BA was doing a good job. He might have been 20 years old, but he was a murder monster and just slaughtering little creatures constantly, so they weren't inside the home. So I grabbed Scott, roommate at the time, and we went down to the Paws Adoption Center. So it's here on the south end of the island. And I went in and said, I need a cat. It needs to be able to kill things and needs to be cool with dogs. And the lady pointed over to this giant fat thing on a chair. She's like, what about this cat? I'm like, no, that cat is 80 pounds and he's never left that chair. She's like, I know. He's been here for a year and no one will adopt him. She's like, okay. All right, we'll go to the kitten room. So the kitten room is this room full of cats. There's just 40 cats in this room. And we walk in, she's like, that black one there, it says he lived with a dog and he likes to hunt. Like, sweet, I want to go pet him. He's like, murder. And started chomping on me. I was like, perfect, let's get this cat. Took about 5 seconds. She put the cat in a box, paid them a $120 adoption fee, brought this thing home, introduced him to Monkey Butt. And Monkey Butt was like, I'm going to chase this cat. The cat's like, sup, bro? And Monkey Butt's like, I don't know what to do with that. And then I had started showing Scott the league, and decided that, you know what, Chalupa Batman's a great name for this cat. He wasn't fat back then. He's gotten a lot more fat since then, since they discovered he had allergies and asthma. So Now he's full of steroids, and he's Chafupa Fat Man. That's you, man, right? Okay. Kelly Reed, Houston, happy birthday. Looked at some luxury homes data in Canada, and sales on luxury estate markets have remained remarkably stable, only recording a minor contraction in 2023. 8,120 residential homes valued from 1 to 3.9 million sold, compared to 9,410 in 2022. However, a lot of this data from realtor sites is he's coming. Woo! Okay. Where was I? A lot of this data is from realtor sites, so this is smoke and mirrors thing. Interesting. So the Chinese haven't started selling like crazy yet in Canada. And there's a ton of luxury homes owned by Chinese, probably more Hong Kong citizens than mainland Chinese though. But still. Why Tyler? But $20 calls are printing up 50% of the day. Let's go. The $20 ones were up like 90% this morning at one point. So, woo. Dr. G78. Hi, H-Man. Do animals know not to look at the sun during eclipse, or is it just the dumb human animal that doesn't understand this? How did Monkey react during the 2017 one? Might take mine in Indy to see it. Monkey never bothered looking up. It got dark. She went, oh, well, I guess it's nighttime. And she curled up under my chair and fell asleep for 2 minutes. While the rest of us were like, ooh, ah. Yeah. There are some animals that do look up and study things. I've seen some dogs that are fascinated with the moon. I've seen pigs that love to look at the stars and the moon. I don't know if these idiots care at all. This one, the cat, obviously is too stupid to ever care about what's up. It's just, if it's not an animal moving around, he's not care. Look about, do you care? Yeah? No? Okay. To her, I'm just talking to a wall anyway, so. Oh my goodness, this pollen is killing me. I am just a sniffly monster. Okay. Would not. Did you watch PP Friday? Pulte was very BBY bearish. Yeah. Here's the thing I don't understand about Pulte, about Theo Rico, the Orico, is they're so concerned about waterfall payments and distributions from the liquidated estate. It doesn't matter. Who gives a shit about the liquidated estate and the distributions that may happen? We're shareholders. We're last man on the totem pole. So we can file the lawsuits we want and sue and hope and pray that there's a distribution for us. But that's not how we win. We win by there being a credit bid for the company so that whoever does the credit bid obtains the nulls. And if they want to utilize those nulls as a tax break, they've got to give us our equity back. That's how we win. Who gives a rip if the liquidating estate sends us a check for $1? I don't care. I want new equity in whatever monster comes out of a credit bid. And so, all weekend long, all week, like Theo Rico on Reddit kept posting these just long diatribes about, distributions from the estate, distributions from the estate, we're not getting anything, we're not. Who fucking cares? That's not how you win. You win with a credit bid. A credit bid has nothing to do with distributions from the estate. All you need is the dip or Philo to go, you know what? Instead of taking money from the estate, we'll just take the estate. That's it. Done. Goldberg is suddenly out of a job, so you don't need to hound him anymore. All Goldberg cares about is making sure that creditors are paid. That's his entire job. And if creditors get paid by taking the estate, he's out of a job. He doesn't have a job anymore. He just goes back to his law firm and waits for the next one to come along. So they can be bearish about getting distribution, but that's not what I got into it for. I got into it for someone taking over the estate and giving me new equity. Oh my gosh, I'm so plugged up. I hate cedar trees. Post MOS, I will never be in Washington State between March 15th and May 1st ever again. Okay. Jason Blackwell, Houston. A pirate walked into a bar with a ship's wheel attached to his penis. Bartender, why is that on you? Pirate says, "Arr, it's driving me nuts." That's a classic. I had a friend in college that dressed as a pirate, and he had the ship's right on his wheel, on his ding dong. People would spin it. Whenever they spun it, he'd go, "Arr, you're driving me nuts." I do that over and over again. Flight Cam I puts on Streamlabs for printing. Kim Brandon, yeah, Piper Houston. Got tied up at work for most of the day and couldn't watch the market. Liking what I see now, though. Love it. Plan coming together. A-team style. Ooh. Part one is done. I need part 2 to work out, and then maybe a part 3 and a part 4 if depending on how they're doing everything. Motor Speed looks like NextBridge is filed in AA. What do you make of it? Oh, I did not see. Load. 8K, 8K, 10K, 8812, registration securities. Okay, let's go. I want you. Come on. Why would you double click when I want you to double click? Okay, there we go. The writing is so small. Registration, description of registrant securities to be registered. God dang. Like, the following description: common stock, par value, blah, blah, blah. NextBridge government registered. Registration at 248 million, common stock outstanding. Registered sole authorized share stock is 500 million. Par value, blah. And 50 million shares preferred stock. Par value, blah. Looks like does this have to do with the 40 million that they wanted to sell last year and they put the fork in it? Because 10% or more. It's not telling me exactly, just that they're registering some shares, but they're not saying how much. No. It's writing so small, my brain can't do it right now, especially since I'm mouth breathing. So, I don't see a number of shares that they're registering anywhere in here. So I don't know what to make of it. I don't know. Loby, happy Jimmy earnings eve, everyone. Houston, what do you call a wreath made of $100 bills? A wreath of Franklin's. I was, back in the day, like, 12, 13 years ago, I was part of a clan on Call of Duty that was nothing but Star Wars puns. I was the Phantom Manass. There was, what were the other ones? There was, like, Darth Vader. Obo-Wan, Kenobo, or something like that. There's a whole bunch of them. But the one non-Star Wars pun we let in because we liked it so much was someone named Urethra Franklin. I was like, I don't care if they're Star Wars or not. Let's let them in. They're funny. So, yeah. Stephanie L. So what happens now that the UN Security Council demands immediate ceasefire in Gaza? Wish UN troops could go in. Fortunately, they cannot. I mean, Security Council demanding a ceasefire is one thing. Actually doing something about establishing one is completely different. So to me, it just sounds kind of truthless and worthless. The U.S. is part of Security Council and normally vetoes those things. And I'm like, oh, we're just will let Israel do whatever they want. But the fact the U.S. didn't veto that, that is an important step. That might be, the U.S. might be leaning on Netanyahu to be like, look, dude, you're done. He accomplished a whole bunch. Now it's time to stop and have elections because you should not be in office anymore. So that seems to be maybe where the U.S. is leaning on that. Certainly taking their sweet time. It's been like 170 days since this has been going on. So, Oh, reset of the chat, you booger. Okay. I go past that. Okay. Charles Bronson. Saw a Robinhood commercial the other day. It was very warming. People forgot they turned off the buy button. Yep. Like I was waiting for his Xfinity dial-up. Front State Productions. Did you see Diddy's home being raided? I'm interested if he had Epstein-style recording apparatus in his homes. I have the feeling that was probably what was going on. Just reading from the reports, the whole blackmail scheme, it seemed like basically they'd force you to do something, or they'd invite you to do something, hope to appeal to you. If you did it, they'd blackmail you. Or they'd force you to do it, and then they'd blackmail you. Regardless, I think P. Diddy and others are probably going to prison for this. Sounds really gnarly. First Impressions. I've been messing with shells all weekend, and today, all you have to do is type "we won" and it sends them into a frenzy, including Doug Seafood. Yeah. I think one of the things Ryan Cohen is doing with retweeting stuff from the Panthers is getting under Doug Seafood's skin. Because Doug and what's his butt, who's the founder of Virtue, the billionaire who owns the majority of the Florida Panthers, Ryan's a Canadian. He's a hockey fan. Of course he's going to hockey games. And he is at the games constantly. And I think it's as like, fuck you, I've got you by the short and curlies. And that's what he's doing. And it's just rubbing salt in the wound. And I don't think Doug knows what to do with that. I think he's bitten off more than he can chew. And there's where we end up. Craig Green gifted 5 memberships. Matt S. Nunya D. Biz. I haven't seen Nunya pop up in a while. DWAC, Oscar Bavalar, and Brian Christie. Did we just get 4 lurkers on that one? Fantastic. Good job, Cran. Okay. Project Productions, rock solid as a dude who sometimes speaks on the PP show. I think he's an okay dude. Well, that's going to trigger somebody coming in and saying that rock solid owes them $500. Why, Tyler? Why sell your original calls just to buy them tomorrow? I'm not buying the same calls tomorrow. I'm buying different calls tomorrow. I had 1350 calls, sold those today. Tomorrow I hope to buy whatever is about $5 above the market price at close tomorrow. That way I can get as many as humanly possible, because what I'm banking on is that the stock price after hours does $10 minimum. And then I get $500 in every single one of those things, and I have maximized a whole bunch of them to get as much as possible. Because if I just buy the same calls tomorrow, I will end up with 21 of them, and I want a lot more than that to compound possible gains after the earnings call. And if I'm wrong, then I got my few puts that'll give me my money back. And you know what? Such is life sometimes. Sometimes you just hope you get your money back and then try again later. Mike Forst, IV 300%. Yes. Olga Natsuwatsky, everyone will get IV crushed so hard like January 2021. Yep. The IV will be absolutely insane. And yeah. Different lime, trying to catch the flash in the pan with tomorrow DWAC trading as Donald J. Trump, DJT. and a pivot that money into GME calls before the end of the day. All right. DWAC went up, what, like $7 today? DWAC. It went up, yeah, $9 after hours. No, $12 after hours. So it was at 53 at one point. Started the day at 40.75. Yeah, so almost $13, including after hours. So I don't know when it's going to crash, but I think it is going to definitely crash because True Social does nothing but lose money and has a very, very, very small user base. And Donald Trump's going to dump as many shares as he possibly can. They're going to dilute like crazy because Donald Trump's going to get like 80 million shares out of it. And, well, there you go. On paper at the moment, he's worth a lot of money, but it's got to go down. He's only making $1 million a quarter off of True Social. That, like, why would Digital World Acquisition have a larger market cap at $4 million a year revenue with no hope of making more than that, while GameStop is valued less than them and they're doing $5 billion plus a year in revenue? This is the weird things that don't make sense in the markets. But, cult of personality, that will do it. AI Vids, what do you think of XRP and the future of the US dollar? I think XRP is doing what XRP does, which is remains as stable as possible for as long as possible. I don't think it's going to moon. I don't think it's going to fly anywhere. I don't think it's going to go up or down in huge amounts because it is a bank-to-bank protocol. And if you want to trade money with banks overseas, you're going to use something like XRP, and they don't want it to be volatile. So putting a bunch of money in XRP like, oh, it's going to go to the moon. No, it's not. It's designed not to go to the moon. It's designed to be as stable as possible so these banks can use it back and forth. Future of the US dollar. I think the US dollar will still remain the global currency because it's got the marketing behind it. China wants to be a big, tough bad boy, but their currency is artificially pegged to the US dollar. So if you trade yuans, you're basically trading US dollars. And China doesn't want to have them all over the world because then their billionaires will leave and never come back. So China limits how much Chinese yuan can leave the country. And so what do you do? But yeah, the US dollar, the US economy has experienced inflation at a lower rate than other nations around the globe. They've been more active in combating inflation than other nations. I mean, you've got Japan's had negative rates and they've been suffering stagflation for a long time. Canada's keeping rates artificially low. Germany was keeping rates artificially low. This will lead to further problems with inflation and eventually stagflation, and will make things much worse than just ripping the Band-Aid and be like, okay, we're going to fix this. That being said, the US still could do more. Like, if you saw, reverse repo is down to about $400 billion, $413 billion. So it's down $2 trillion from its peak, which tells me banks don't have money. The fact the government's not printing anything, the Fed's not printing anything, and they're having the banks put all this money into reverse repo to keep it out of the economy, to keep inflation from expanding. And now the bank term funding program's closed. These banks have no access to cash, and they know they're super screwed on commercial real estate mortgages and bonds, and they need money for their depositors, and they are running out. So they're pulling money out of the reverse repo, and reverse repo is shrinking really. It's dropped $2 trillion in the past few months. And eventually, it'll be closed. There'll be no reverse repo because the banks will have taken all their money out, and then what happens? That when we start printing again? What do you think, you little tube of dog? What do you think? What do you think? Seth Doherty, I'm staring at IEP schedule K1 now. Is that the tax form that people have been getting? Super Cove, should we all be getting these forms then? I think it's only the folks that registered their Bed Bath are getting them. Michael Steegs, hi Houston. With SEC being sued, I mean, they cannot say anymore that they don't know how many shares are sold. This is because with the CAT system, they know exactly how many shares are sold. Yes. So I think that's good. Billy Paps. Billy Paps Mears. Thank you. Thank you for the... There's a 5, but it's a 1. I'll take it. Let's celebrate their 5th super on a live stream. Well, thank you. Thank you, Billy Paps. Yeah. Even today with the blue sheets and stuff, they should have an idea of how many stocks have traded back and forth, but they've been keeping it secret. I do think having an open ledger will make a world of difference in the stock market. Maybe they do something to make it anonymous, like they leave out who the targets are, who's buying and selling, but you can see how much is going back and forth. But I think it's better though if it's like crypto and you can see what wallets are getting things and which wallets are letting things go. That and just make naked shorting illegal, and then you have to do all these like little workarounds. ECB, a 1-for-1 IEP for BBY would be fantastic. It would. Zebra Cove, I think Ramen bought IEP and forgot. I wonder how you buy a stock and then forget. I wish I had that problem. Okay. Sean Doherty, you only receive K1 if you owned a share IEP at some point in 2023. Chad Clifford, math question. How many GME shares equals millionaire? Well, right now, I mean oops, wait. No, I gotta do that. There we go. Monkey, I can't breathe. My nose is plugged, dude. Okay, I turn you off. I go to there, and then I turn you off. I turn you off too. Boom. Okay. So, millionaire, $1 million. Right? Starting out stock price at $15. You need 66,000 of them. 66,667-ish. That will get you, you'll be a millionaire at that point. Good job. Way to go. Depending on what the stock does in the future, you might need significantly less. My goal is eventually get myself to 1,000 shares because if there's a squeeze, I think it goes to 1,000 shares easily. $1 million, cool. I bet it goes higher. Yeah. So if you're gonna spend $1 million right now, you'd get around 66,000 and change of them. It's a little bit higher than $15. So probably should have bought a few days ago when it was 12 something. So that should be your lesson. Okay. Red Lightsaber, how about all these Republican House members leaving at super opportune times? Delicious. Yes, the Republican House lead, I think after April 19th, will be down to one vote. So it's very interesting. The Republican congressional retreat was last week, and only 100 members of Congress went to it. Normally, like all 200 and whatever Republicans go, and only 100 went. And some of them were like, I will never be in the same room with those people ever again if I don't have to. There's a lot of infighting going on. They're very upset with leadership. They're very upset with what are these guys called themselves? The Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene group, the insurrectionists, whatever they call themselves. For A, kicking McCarthy out. B, stalling everything. C, only passing 23 bills, the least amount ever during a 2-year term. And a lot of Republicans that are in these swing districts are like, I'm getting hammered in ads because they're right. Like, we have accomplished nothing. And so these ads are hitting me every single day saying this guy did nothing in the 2 years he was Congress. It was the weakest Congress it's ever been. They accomplished less than anyone else. So there's a lot of infighting going on. And right now, the RNC's been taken over by Trump, and Trump fired all the analytics people. So like the folks who look at big data demographics and geographic locations and figures out what voters where are the ones you target for advertising and campaigning, Trump fired all of them. So now there's no direct marketing ability of the entire Republican National Convention, Republican National Committee to do any of the targeted marketing they need for this election effort. So a lot of members of Congress are up for re-election. They're sort of stuck on their own trying to figure out how to do ad buys and town halls and things like that, because they won't have the Republican National Committee behind them to help them out. It's very interesting. It's like, wow, you guys really know how to destroy stuff. Oh my God, just stop. Sorry. Are you guys also getting like 10 million texts from political campaigns constantly? Stop. Send. You've been removed from this thing. Okay. Adalberto. Houston said it was 1-for-1 for IEP. I thought that's what people were posting. Was like, hey, all my BBBY, and now I'm getting these IEP tax forms. So, I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what I assumed was happening. Grape Nuts, Houston. How are the actual shorts losing money by counterfeiting shares? Can't they just keep selling into the market ad infinitum? Every time they sell a naked share, they create a liability. So essentially they're saying like, I owe you one real share at some point. And if the value of that share gets too great, then the broker takes over, liquidates everything that the person has who's been naked selling that stuff, and then uses it to buy shares and close out positions. So that's why GameStop, when GameStop was flying $450, $480, they turned off the buy button because they could not risk more FOMO going into it, raising the price, because then they have to start closing positions, and all of a sudden you're competing with the hedge funds closing positions, and the stock price goes even higher, which causes even more hedge funds and market makers being forced to close their positions, which causes the stock go even higher, and it'll just be a runaway train that takes everything down. So that's ideally they sell and sell and sell and sell and sell, and they dilute the float so much that the price just drops. What they never expected was us being dumb enough to go, okay, oh, it's a discount, I'll buy more. And like, fuck. Because what they count on is they drop the price and we go, oh no, a stop loss. And then we sell everything we have thinking that it's going to drop into nothingness. But we don't do that anymore. Now we see it as, oh, we've got a screaming deal, I can buy more. And so they're stuck in this like loop where they have to sell more to keep the price from going up, because if the price goes up, they're screwed. But they also add into the liabilities the more they sell. And that's where we are. Can I read? I think no indicator has gone better, has better job of I wish I could clear my nose, because right now my eyeballs hurt. My brain's cooked. Okay. Can I read? I think no indicator has done a better job predicting when the next global recession will start than the Bank of Japan starts raising rates. So recession in 2024 or next 2 years. Yeah, the Bank of Japan needs to raise rates and make it hurt so that they have the tool to cut rates in the future. Not raising rates when you need to is it's effectively like taking a tool out of your toolbox. So I don't know if you remember 2017, 18, 19, Trump, he was being asked to appoint a new leader for the Fed. He's basically like, I'll only appoint somebody who will keep rates low. And he's hammering, rates need to be kept low, rates need to be kept low. Let's see if we can find, let's see here, Trump, low rates Fed. Here we go. September 11th, 2019. Boink. So Trump reverses course, seeks negative rates from Fed boneheads. So Trump, he's trying to put his finger on the scale in 2019, and he's like, we need to keep these rates low, because he was worried that if the Fed, is like, hey, the economy's doing well, we can actually raise rates a little bit and slow the burn. Trump was like, no, keep it going. I need more jobs. I need more whatever. And so he wanted to keep it low. The big problem is that around this time is when Trump fired the USAID AID team that stopped novel virus outbreaks before they spread about a month later. And then a month after that is when COVID appeared. And then by March 2020, the stock market dropped 37% and everything was crashing really, 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 really hard. The Fed, the rates were so low that cutting them there wasn't anything you could do. Like, you just couldn't cut it and make a difference. And if Trump had let the Fed raise basis points leading up to when COVID hit, then we would have the tool of cutting rates to spur investment, and we wouldn't have to print as much as we did. But instead, we didn't have that tool anymore. We had to print, 20 quadrillion, fintillion, cajillion dollars. And that led to the inflation that we are experiencing the last couple of years. So, yeah, you want to be able to have that tool, available to you when it's, but, oops, right? Like, oh no. But it creates its own problems. Like right now it's making it so that older bonds with fixed interest rates aren't worth anything and no one wants them. And it's where a lot of depositors' money from banks went into. So, yeah. Okay. I can't breathe. I can't breathe, guys. I can't breathe, monkey. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Trey Spider. A guy said he went to ICAM building, is a scammer. His name is Ramen. Ramen, the art gallery guy? I don't know enough about any of it. Attending man, what time will you be buying your calls tomorrow? Probably in the last 30 minutes of the trading day. Basically, I know implied volatility is going to be insane. But what I want is as much theta decay as I possibly can get in that period of time to bring it down just a little bit. Michael Harrell, Houston needed a jalapeno slather and wasabi. Your sinuses should clear up after crying. I want is to leave Washington until the stupid cedar trees are done. Okay. Scott Paul's locked and loaded for earnings tomorrow. Fantastic. Billy Paps. GME calls before close tomorrow. $20 more. Depends on what the stock price is tomorrow. If this price is at $15, I'll probably be trying to buy around 20. If the stock's at 17, probably trying to buy around 22. If the stock's at 13, I'll be buying at 18. So I'm looking at about $5 above. I might not be able to fill all my orders for it, so I may have to buy $4, $7 somewhere in there to finish up everything. But that's yeah. Snort Wasabi says I concur. Snort more wasabi. It's your time to shine, buddy. Okay. Jersey, what's with MAT right now? They're doing what they do. DJ BD Ramen evidently lied about the IEP deal, just FYI. Well, there's some others that had they got those things as well. I saw posted Twitter. Maybe they're all lying. I have no idea. Matt S. with IV through the roof. We are not going to get a lot of calls. The lowest I see is $25 for $24. And that's true. We may be stuck. Maybe, 6 times what more expensive than I was counting on. But well, then that's the way she plays. So we can only play the hand that we're dealt, right, Kat? That's why I'm hoping theta decay helps a little bit. Julius Miami, Wu-Tang in Vegas. I would love to go. You said to send that thing to me, and they're doing like a Vegas residency. All events for Wu-Tang Clan, Virgin Hotels. Wu-Tang Clan will take stage. Heals the 50th anniversary hip hop celebration. Residency is more than a concert. Come on. That's page 404 not found. What? How about you? Wu-Tang. Here we go. Oh, it's gone. What? Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang. Where are you, Wu-Tang? It's gone. It was on here and then it was gone. So apparently it's going to be at Virgin Hotels in Las Vegas, but it went up yesterday and it's gone today. Wu-Tang Saga continues. Las Vegas set for March 23rd. Huh. Well. Huh. Well, I'd love to go see it, but can't until after earnings tomorrow. Turkish. Hello there, Houston. A little behind, but I'm sure to catch up to hear you say, "Where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the money, deadbeat?" Goddamn Cran Green. Good cast. Very good cast. Joel Dawes. Do you see an end for NextBridge and shareholders getting a payout? At the moment, it is a nebulous future. I'd have no idea what's being negotiated behind doors. I've not seen them produce any new PR pieces. They were doing one about once a month, and we're at almost the end of March. We haven't gotten one this month, so maybe that means that they're actively working on something, or maybe it means nothing whatsoever. Don't know. Corporate Walnut Pulte retweeting article saying Trump is one of the richest on earth. Yes, DWAC has made his net worth be $6.5 billion, making him in the top 500. We'll see how long that lasts. Mike Forst, implied volatility in DWAC is insane too. It is really insane. It is bonkers. The implied volatility is like over 1,000%, I think, at one point for it. DWAC options chain. Where's the implied volatility right now? Come on. Are you opening? Are you going? 1,000, 500, 800. Shoo. Even at the money is 293%. That's a lot. That's a lot of volatility. Holy smokes. It's up to 400% for 100% out of the money. And then on the put side, still almost 400% at the money. Goodness gracious. $7.50 if you bought the $5 strikes. Whew. All right. Sean Ivy, not sure if you've answered this question already, but do you think IV Crush will destroy Jimmy options play? I mean, it might, but if what you're going for is money above your strike price, so who cares about IV? Once you get above your strike price, you're making $100 basically per dollar above you go, and at that point, that's profit. So if you're looking for something where you're buying out of the money, way out of the money, it has no chance of going green, or so no chance of hitting that strike price, then yeah, IV will absolutely annihilate you, because once the applied volatility of earnings is over, then a whole bunch of the value of those options will just disappear overnight. But if you're buying for something and the goal is to have it go in the money, then who cares about IV at that point? Yeah, IV means you can buy fewer of those options than I'd hoped to, but as long as it's in the money, I'm getting $100 for every dollar it goes above my strike price. And that's all I care about. Billy Paps, where do you think the GME calls are going to be at before close? $20. Not a clue. If the stock price is still going up tomorrow, the IV will be added to it and they'll be pretty expensive. If it has a red day for some reason tomorrow, then the price will be dropping a lot on those calls that are in the range that I want, which is $5 above the market price. Cat, don't you dare go up on that thing. Okay, good. But yeah, we just gotta wait and see. It's all we got. Mr. Oak, so Houston, how boned is Shohei Otani? So apparently he's raised a bunch of red flags at the IRS. So they're doing an investigation. I read a thing this morning about a guy showing bets that were made out of Otani's hometown. We're talking like $1 million bets on individual baseball games on days that Otani was pitching, where Otani gave up like the spread was Angels give up 6 runs or more, right? And Otani pitches 6 innings, gives up 6 runs, goes over 3 at the plate. And the Angels lose the game. And the $1 million bet becomes a $5 million win. So they're showing there's a correlation between when these bets were being filed in Otani's hometown and days he was pitching when he happened to lose. And I think it's very, very interesting. I'm sure that MLB will do a big investigation, and I'm sure that they're terrified of finding out that Otani was possibly doing gambling because he's the biggest star in baseball, and the Dodgers just paid him $700 million to be the biggest star in baseball. But it might be that his interpreter had a gambling problem. His Angels teammates said that Otani had no clue how any other sport worked. All he cared about was baseball. It's all he talked about. It's all he thought about. It's all he watched. He did not know a single thing about American football, let alone bet on American football and other sports. So we'll see, right, Kat? I'm sure that they're going to have a lot of lawyers and private eyes digging deep into it. Ford's Easy 9 got here late, but is your plan still the same for tomorrow? Pretty much. Scott Paul and Jimmy at the call. IV 400%. Take a fat rip from an inhaler. Oh, yeah. Lewis Shotland. Are there any disadvantages to leaving NextBridge shares at a broker instead of transferred to AST Equinity? I think the big disadvantage is if AST Equinity... if NextBridge does a share offering or a distribution of NewCo, it'll be going to those people in AST. And it will not be going to those people in brokerages. People in brokerages will then have to have their broker go out on the market and force the shorts to buy those crypto dividends for people inside the brokerages. Yeah, that's all. That's all I got. Andrew Dowell, Houston, what do you think Ryan invested in? Bed Bath & Beyond. But he did that before the whole approval from the board to invest GameStop money. Since then, Katie, what do you think? What do you think, Fatso? What do you think they could have invested in? Back into Chewy? Are they reacquiring Chewy? Yeah. Are they going for... I mean, what else? What's Ryan Cohen want? Like, you want indoor, you want outdoor, you want gaming, you want clothes, you want toys, you want animals, right? So, would you want somebody who already has an existing warehouse network, or someone who wants to take advantage of a growing warehouse network? Say the whole Keiretsu thing going on. I don't know. I don't know. I want to know. I wish I could know, but I don't have a clue. And my brain is so full of pollen right now that I'm really operating at like 50% at the moment. Aaron Salty, tomorrow, PTPI FDA approval meeting for the new drug test. That last time it had a great view. The stock went from 98 cents to 8.52. We flying tomorrow. I'm ready to make $1,700 off of $400 to put in. Get it. They don't have, we looked, they didn't have an options chain, right? JL 2023 Houston, I just want to say I'm rooting for your play. Well, I'm rooting for it too. I hope it does something. Scott Pollen sends some GME to DRS today because want to make them buy on the lit market to deliver to Computershare. Taps forehead. Scott Pollen push that gamma. Yes. Aaron Salty Houston, Reddit up 100% in 3 days from IPO. Wow. Well, good job to everybody who bought into Reddit. Juan Ortega. You just activated my trap card meme is playing out for short sellers. I hope. Daphne's here. Fantastic. Corporate Walnut. If we thought BBY share count was a clusterfuck, how could it be so easy for us to get our new shares? That's most likely the delay. I mean, it could be the delay. I think the delay personally is the pump and dump lawsuit. Is that they want to make sure Todd and Judy are long gone and don't have the ability to refile by claiming they got equity again. So you just got to jettison them, and then he can offer the equity. Terry Haugen, oops, NextBridge 8A released today will remain private for now, possibly become digital asset. Maybe they'll move the whole thing to T0. Right, Cat? Right? Oh, you little snot-nosed punk. How's it going, monkey? Huh? You having a good day? You know what? We're going to take a moment. He's going to sniffle. And he's going to do this. So much worse before I put the allergy medicine in monkey. But man. Whew. Okay. Turn off the night time. Alright. It's time. It's time, monkey. Come get it. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Come on. Go, it's right there. Come on. Oh, there you go. They're going to do large monkey. Don't. All right. Ta-da! The treats have been treated. The stinky beef. I can't even smell the stinky beef today because it's plugged up. Isn't that fantastic? Isn't that wonderful? Okay. Where am I? Scott Paul, okay, hear me out. GME earnings day on same day as Solar Flare glitch. Yeah, that's why I'm expecting Solar Flare, I think it's supposed to hit tonight, up to a G3, which is a pretty big storm. Is there any updates onto the solar weather? Okay. Let's see here. Any updates? Event. Coronal mass ejection associated with an X1.1 flare on 23rd of March arrived at Earth as expected on 24th. Effects are likely to linger but decrease going to the 26th. So current geometric storm watches are in effect for G3 diminishing chances and G1 storms. The G3 watch is set to end by sometime today, 23:59 UTC, which is about now. The G1 watch picks up. So if it's clear tonight, I might be able to see some. No, I won't be able to. Dang it. It's over Greenland and Iceland. That's where the aurora is right now. So nothing for Houston. Still. Bummer, man. Oh, play that. How come it takes so long to load these JavaScript things? That's one thing that never always blew my mind. It hasn't changed at all since I was in college. It's still these really, really slow JavaScript animations. Come on. You can do it. You're 3/4 of the way there. You can go. Keep going, little progress bar. Keep going. Come on, buddy. You can do it. Show it to me. Come on. Come on. Oh, you're so close. There we go. All right. And okay. All right. Looks like Alberta, northern BC will get some. Oh. Nope. I don't think I'm getting any. So close. So close. How do I know how to get rid of you? Okay. Well. Okay. Daphne, Houston, hi, hope you scored in your play. I do too. We'll see. How are you doing with likes and subscribes? Oh yeah, like and subscribe, and you know what? Mow your lawn. Jigashukla, Houston, what's all this Woz suing YouTube about? I don't know anything about Woz suing YouTube. Who's Woz? Woz suing YouTube? Steve Wozniak says he's taking his YouTube lawsuit. Oh, that was. Lawsuit against YouTube led by Steve Wozniak. Okay, Steve. Let's see here. State Appeals Court Friday found a small crack in the fortress that federal law has built around internet platform companies, providing immunity against claims based on content posted to their platform. Section 230 of the Federal Communications Decency Act protects internet companies against suits for defamation, libel, and dozens of other state law claims that seek to hold the platform companies responsible for what appears in their sites. The crack in the fortress wall identified by the California Court of Appeal was just wide enough to allow Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak and a group of scammed watchers of videos on YouTube LLC to proceed with a portion, albeit small portion, of their claims against YouTube and its parent company Google. Section 230 has two prongs that taken together create a broad immunity. First, an interactive computer service, a term that includes platforms like YouTube, shall not be treated as the publisher or speaker of any platform provided by another information content provider. Information content providers include users who post content to the platform. Second, no liability may be imposed under any state or local law that is inconsistent with this section. Section 230 was enacted with the idea of creating a vibrant internet by broadly protecting sites from liability for user-created content. The idea was that immunity would also allow and indeed encourage platforms to make editorial decisions to remove or forbid offensive posts. Section 230 immunity is a federal statute that can't be overridden by state law that has encouraged plaintiffs and their lawyers to explore the contours of immunity and to style their claims in ways that fall outside the fortress walls. Wozniak's claim is that scammers hijacked his YouTube channel and, without his knowledge, convinced viewers that he was proposing a cryptocurrency giveaway. Users would send crypto to an unidentified location and get back double. Of course, users got back nothing and in the process allegedly lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. He filed his lawsuit along with 17 defrauded users, alleging, among other things, that YouTube knew of such scams, did not prevent them, or even stop them after learning that they were ongoing. This happens to me all the time. Fake Houstons appear in the chat and like, hey, call us WhatsApp number and I will give you all the financial advice you want. It's obviously not me because I don't want to talk to you guys that much. But yeah, it happens. They would create fake Twitter accounts. They create fake Reddit accounts. It happens again. So finally, Section 230 blocked the claims. The trial court dismissed the complaint, though it gave the plaintiffs permission to try again. The plaintiffs did so, adding more detailed allegations. They also added claims for breach of implied contract and promissory estoppel. The latter legal doctrine says that one who makes a promise expecting another to rely on it can be liable if it is broken. The changes were not enough to change the trial court's mind and dismissed the case in May 4th, 2022, this time without leave to amend the complaint. On appeal, plaintiffs focused on a cluster of different aspects of YouTube's operation that they argued took the case outside of Section 230. Okay, interesting. Basically, Plaintiffs alleged at least one case. YouTube gave the scammers a verification badge, a blue check that signified YouTube had determined the channel was trustworthy. This is one of the problems I think Reddit or the Twitter X might run into, is that the blue check means that they're trustworthy, that they're who they say they are. And there's like no verification that goes on. There's lots of scammers that get blue checks on there. Anyone can pay $11 or $8, whatever it is, gets it. Interesting. Okay. Where was I? It was the WAS question. Where's the WAS question? There it is. Aaron Salentine, Houston. You think humanity will ever have the technology to teleport matter across distances in seconds? I've talked about this before. Like, inanimate objects, yes. I think the humans will be able to transport inanimate objects. Living beings, no. And this has to do with the fact that energy has to be conserved for living beings in a way that all energy must be conserved. Then that means if you are teleporting from like Earth to the space station, your momentum on Earth is, let's say, 600 miles an hour as your rotational velocity. But you get to the space station where it's going 17,000 miles an hour, you're going to appear, that space station is going to hit you at 16,500 miles an hour, and that's going to be it. You're toast. So, yeah. If you don't have to maintain all of the energy, then you could probably just have objects appear, and hopefully you have some sort of dampening field that keeps them from smacking walls at hundreds or thousands of miles an hour when you transport them. But we transported things. We transported hydrogen atoms from one point to another. We've been doing that for like 20 years, the Niels Bohr Institute. So whether it's the same hydrogen atom or if it's spooky action at a distance, I'm not sure. I have to read more about it. But oh my goodness, my brain is shutting down. Okay. We get to the end. We get the end, and then I need to go blow my nose and set up tomorrow's charity show. Just spilled water all over myself too. Okay. The great and powerful was. Caesar Hands, Diddy's houses are being shorted right now. San Sapien, Houston, are you buying your trades open or close tomorrow? Towards close. I want as much Theta Decay as possible before I buy. Save, a few cents if I can. CBob357, there's no earning call announced for GME tomorrow. How are they going to announce a divvy in paperwork? So if they don't have it on the call, they will. Anything that's in an earnings call is in the paperwork that gets filed an hour before the earnings call. So at close tomorrow, I expect you will see instant reactions in the market, either up or down, as to what is in the earnings call or the earnings report. So we'll know. Well, I will be live. I'll have the thing here, and we'll find out if I'm cracking Martinelli's or just like shrugging my shoulders and going, well, it was a nice try. Sean Ivey, can you explain what the real difference is between getting $5 out of the money calls rather than just keeping the $13.50 calls and then the ride since they're already in the money? Okay, we'll go back to calculator. Turn off the Chrome. All right, so I managed to get 21. Whoops, it's clear. 21. Come on. 21 calls. They cost me, I think it was $149. So they cost me $3,100. Cool. I just sold them at what did I sell them for? Oops, that's the wrong one. I want this. Come on. I just sold them for $242. So I've turned that into 5,000, right? Okay. Now I could keep those things and maybe it goes up $10, right? So if I keep them and the stock price goes up $10 from now, I'm up $12. So I get $1,200. Oops. Come on. 21 times 1,200. I get $25,000. Neat, right? Or I can go and I can buy, let's say they're $5 out of the money, and let's say they cost $20 each by the end of close tomorrow. I have no idea with implied volatility what they will be. So come on. Ah, gosh, dang it. My mouse is just being a dick. One sec, I gotta turn it off. Wait a few seconds, turn it back on. Okay. So I take my 583? 50883 and divide that sucker by $20. I now have 254 options, right? So 254. And each one of those suckers goes up $500. I now have $127,000. So if I keep my in the monies, I get $25,000. That's cool. If I sell them, buy at a strike price that's higher, I get more options, and therefore, if those go in the money, I make more off each one of those things than I otherwise would have. So basically, you get about 5 times more out of it by doing that. And that was my goal. My goal is really to get to 1,000 options if I could, but implied volatility is so high, I don't think I can. So that's the goal. It's a gamble. It's a lotto. Like if, I should be happy, get 25 grand. Cool. Right. That's more than I started with. I'm happy, but that's not the trick shot. The trick shot is more fun than that. Right, Kitty? Right, buddy? Right. All right. Hope that makes sense. What charity tomorrow? We're doing an animal charity. I have not decided which one yet. It's going to be some sort of help animals charity. I need to set that up here. I'll do it in a sec. Aaron's hunting. Tomorrow, GME, MOAS, we all go home rich and book that trip to Cancun, Mexico, where nothing happens, and keep on buying GME and working till squeezy my shorties to bankruptcy. Basically, like, win big or my life doesn't change in any way, shape, or form. Alarian, please Google what IV Crush is. It isn't raising IV. It's subsequent dropping of IV after event like earnings, goes up into earnings and drops crushes after. I know. That's what I'm trying to say is you get IV crushed. How do I put this? Let's say I'm buying options that are $20 out of the money, right? There's a very low likelihood that they're going to get $20 out of the money, but with IV the way it is, if the price goes up, woo, yeah, awesome. But if implied volatility disappears on that, and the stock never reaches that $20 out of the money, then yes, the value of these things disappears entirely and it becomes worthless, right? But if I have my strike price at a point where I think the stock price will pass it, then I don't care about implied volatility, because for every dollar the strike price or the price of stock goes above my strike price basically adds $100 to the value of my stock regardless of implied volatility. Does that make sense? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. So who cares what I pay for my contracts? If they go in the money, I'm going to have $100 for every dollar the stock goes above my strike price, regardless of implied volatility or not. If it never gets to my strike price, then I lose anyway. Understand? Does that make sense? I don't know how to describe that. Yeah. But if I'm buying something that's like 3 weeks out and way out of the money, yeah, the implied, you're going to get IV crushed like crazy because there's no chance the stock will get to where that is. And if the stock price is flying the next day, IV will still be there. Why? Because on Thursday, there could be a chance that it stays in the money and then you gamma squeeze the whole next week. So, yeah, that's basically where I am. Yeah. Are you planning on hedging your post-earnings play? I'll figure out when I get there. Yeah. So, Man, my brain is so cooked right now. I really need these trees to stop pumping. I think I'm gonna end it a lot early today. I can't think, and I'm so snotty. But yes, I'll probably hedge my post earnings play. Like, I'll probably still do weeklies if it looks like there's gonna be gamma, and just go from there. But I probably won't spend everything that I make. Keep a little bit to the side. Plus, I got to pay taxes and stuff. But yeah, my brain's not working too well at the moment. Greedy investor, are you only buying weeklies? For this play, yes, I'm only buying weeklies. Because I need theta decay to make them as cheap as possible. Because with IV Crush, that's all I can do. So that's the goal. That's the goal. All right. I know I'm ending a little early, but I need it. See you guys tomorrow. I'll hopefully, maybe it'll rain tomorrow and the pollen will drop a little bit and I'll be able to think a little better. But yeah. Okay, everybody. Peace. How about that one? That one?
Houston, we have a problem.
Ah.